to stream without an issue, and then we will be with you all shortly. Gotta put my airplane back in order here. God bless you, one and all. We are getting started in just a moment. Today we have the distinction of starting up our new year of teaching. I'm sorry. Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is Reverend Dr. Gilberto Rosado. Today is our first day of the 2019 year of teaching, and we'll get started after we make sure everyone is connected. Please take the time to share the stream and to invite everyone in to watch the stream with us. And we'll get started with our intros, and then we'll get into our announcements, and then into today's teaching. So I'll see you in just a little bit. you. This is the Reverend Dr. Gilberto Rosado. Dios lo bendiga. Este es Reverendo Dr. Gilberto Rosado. Welcoming you to another broadcast. At this hour, we have our bilingual broadcast, our teaching in English and Spanish. So we ask that you be patient as we translate live on the fly between languages. Esta es la hora que damos la enseñanza en inglés y español y pedimos que tengas pues paciencia mientras que traduzcamos de un idioma al otro. Aproveche y aprende el otro idioma. While we're at it, you can learn the other language as well. Es un beneficio de sintonía ministerio. It's a benefit, an added benefit, I should add, of tuning in to our ministry. Yeah, alert. We're thanking God for bringing us into this new year with our teaching. God bless you all for connecting. And please share the stream. We have to, use the medium as it was designed to do. So share the stream out there. What we'll be doing for teaching today is we'll be talking about the precepts of God. We're continuing from where we left off last time we were teaching. And so we're going to be continuing at the precepts, Exodus 21, 2, and 3. So we're in that area right after the Ten Commandments. We'll be doing a summation or recap just to get our minds back into where we were. And then we'll be going straight into the precept presentation by God that he makes right after the Ten Commandments. Okay, and before that, though, we'll be talking about some updates that we've had. And the first thing I want to talk about is the stream right now. Stream is what we're doing. Primeramente, well, I'm going to take some time talking Spanish because I forgot we're doing bilingual. En esta clase voy a hablar inglés y español, aunque empecé mucho tiempo en inglés, se me olvidó que estamos en la clase bilingüe. So, lo que voy a hacer es hablar en inglés, una frase o dos, y entonces vamos a tener en el español, ¿ok? Voy a hablar en español, lo que dije más o menos, a veces exactamente, a veces más precisamente, y a veces pues lo mejor que puedo. Ok, y entonces pues esa es la manera que hacemos la clase, ok. La clase espera que sea de 2 horas y medio, así más o menos, 2 horas con 15 minutos. Usually these classes take 2 hours and 15 minutes. Because I'm doing it bilingual, well then an hour's worth of class, normally an hour and 15 minutes or so. 1 hour and 20 minutes becomes 2 hours and 45 minutes. So that's why that happens. So don't think of it as, wow, that's a long message. It's actually half of what it's the time you're spending. God bless everyone joining. Dios lo bendiga a todos los que están sintonizando. So that's the way this class goes. Another FYI is that I'm restricted, I'm limited right now. We hope to resolve this in a few weeks, to one camera view per channel. So you whatever is the position you see me in, that's basically I have two cameras at least here now, but I can't switch between cameras too easily because each camera is dedicated to one of the channels. That's a software limitation. You know that last time I could switch between cameras and have different things going on. I can't do that with the software that I'm using now. It has that limitation. We have to. I'm going to have to work with that. I'll probably get more cameras here to uh, to make up for that difference. And there's reasons for that, which I won't get into now because I don't think it's something we need to talk about at this point. I previamente pude hacer cambios de las cámaras, diferentes cámaras que tengo, más o menos dos cámaras principales que hay aquí ahorita. Y antes, los que me veían antes, pues veían los cambios de un cámara al otro, cambio así, para que no sea muy monótono, ¿no? La vista, porque soy fuerte, la vista fuerte cuando solo tiene que verme de un lado, nada más por 2 horas. Pero por la limitación del programa que estamos usando, tiene que ser así, no puedo cambiar de cámaras muy fácilmente. Y tengo que hacerlo por lo menos hasta que puedo hacer unos cambios que tengo que hacer con el adelantos del estudio, que no lo vamos a poder hacer ahorita porque hay cosas que tengo que hacer, no quiero entrar en los detalles, pero de todos modos voy a ver si busco 2 cámaras más para tener alguna variedad de posición mientras que estamos dando la clase. Eso es lo que voy a hacer en el futuro. Si me están viendo de frente y les gusta esa posición, pues están bien. Si me ven de lado, o ven los dos sillas, hay un silla alrededor, a mi lado. Si ven esa silla, pues es porque está usando el otro cámara hasta que puedo comprar más cámaras y hacer un arreglo de la vista del escenario donde lo ven. Pues tiene que ser así o cambian para el otro. Yo creo que en Facebook es la cámara central, más o menos central, y en YouTube tiene la cámara a mi lado, en este lado, así dando este vistazo, y el asiento se ve claramente. Ese es lo que tenemos. Ok, esos son esta es la primera vez que estoy haciendo la enseñanza con este programa de computadora, ese estudio. Y este setup que tenemos aquí ahorita, que está en progresión, no es lo que se va a quedar, sino una etapa en el adelanto que el Señor nos ha proporcionado. Pues entonces eso es lo que tenemos ahora. And I forgot what I was going to say. All right, so I hope I'm doing the English and Spanish okay. We have one scene that you see me straightforward in Facebook. Another scene is seen in YouTube, and we're limited because of the software. And so we're going to try to fix that in the coming weeks, but that's what you have until now. All right, church updates. Ahora adelantos de la iglesia. Praise God that we've been able to extend the church. The church is growing. We've been in the Fort Lauderdale, Miami area where we are beginning to start at least 2 churches. There's a third one in Miami that we hope to get started later this month or so. So we're asking you all to pray for that progress there in Miami and Fort Lauderdale. Estamos pidiendo oración de ustedes de las iglesias que estamos comenzando. En Fort Lauderdale tenemos 2 iglesitas empezando en Fort Lauderdale y la zona, en el área, y en una tercera, pues potencialmente en Miami, empezando quizá en un par de semanas. Pedimos sus oraciones para que estas cosas se realicen. Amén. Y damos gracias al Señor por ese adelanto. Todavía estamos siempre abiertos para empezar nuevas obras. Este mes espero, si el Señor lo permite, ir a Tampa later this month. We're also trusting in the Lord that He opened up Tampa for us. So we're planning to head over to Tampa. And then next month we are going to Jacksonville, Florida. En la mes que viene también pensamos ir a Jacksonville, que es una ciudad también bien populado en el norte de la Florida. Los que han conducido hasta Miami por carro, digo hasta Florida en carro, pues la primera ciudad mayor que uno ve en la Florida después que pasa de Georgia. Así que, and that's Jacksonville is the largest city, the first one that you come to. If you're driving down to Florida, it's the first major city in Florida where you say, wow, this is Florida, and you see the big towers and all. It's a major city there. That's Jacksonville, Florida. And so we plan to be there with the Lord's help, amen, and by March. And hopefully we'll be starting a church or two there. So pray for this advancement, this progress in the Lord. Amen. Praise God. Así que también tuvimos unos adelantos en el trabajo de la iglesia, en la manera que podemos ayudar a las personas. Y eso pues le vamos a informar a los líderes, a los pastores, para que ellos pues se informen más a la membresía prontamente. We've had a few also additional progress in the things that we're able to help and the helps that we're able to offer people, and particularly the members of the church. And we'll be sharing that with the leaders and your pastors in the coming days, and they will bring you up to date on those. I'm preparing the new membership flyers, also benefits flyers, so that the members can be made aware of the new things that we have been able to put together. Así que he preparado también en la hoja de membresía, de los beneficios de membresía, que ha sido actualizada, y en estos próximos días lo compartiré con los líderes y ustedes, los miembros, para que los miembros puedan saber, conocer de los adelantos que hay en eso. Así que, so these are pretty much what we are looking at. Oh, there's another big announcement as well. Hay otro anuncio mayor también, y es la de los sábados. And so let's go into that. I want to talk about the Saturday update that we've made in our church. And I want to do that by bringing your attention to TSPCI.org. So let's head on over there. Let's see. Let's do the screencast here. And let's bring this over here, I guess. Yeah. Let me go to screencast. Here we go. Okay, everybody, just one moment. You see all the things I have to fuss with. Okay. All right. This is the website of the church. Vamos a ir al sitio del internet de la iglesia. As you can see, tspci.org. And the Lord had us, I don't know if people were were listening when we were teaching on the specific parts of the Sabbath and the Ten Commandments. For a while now, the Lord has been having me to think about starting a church ministry for those people who are confused, who are looking at the scripture and the Old Testament in particular, and they're getting the feeling or the idea, or they're reading and they see all this thing about keep the law and keeping the Sabbath. And in my dealings online, as you know, I did a lot of, I prepared the social evangelizer software to help teach and help correct the errors that are abundant out there, people's minds, people's social media, et cetera, even in the real world. So we started to create this software. We did that, and there's a lot of errors, but through all of that, I've learned so much. I've learned so much about where the problems are, why people are not understanding the ministry and the work of Christ, even the character and nature of Christ. Estuve diseñando el programa de evangelizador social. Es un programa de computadora que ayuda a las personas a dirigirse, a corregir y enseñar a las personas sobre el evangelio, sobre los diferentes puntos o pautas, las doctrinas principales de la escritura concernientes a la salvación, Cristo Jesús, y también corrigiendo los errores que abundan, ¿no? Por falta de conocimiento, como dice la escritura. Y hice ese programa, y a través de a través de mis esfuerzos tratando de ayudar y enseñar a las personas, he aprendido muchas cosas, y una de las cosas muy grandes es la razón. La razón a que se debe tanto confusión, tanta equivocación de pensamiento, de razonamiento. Y entonces, pues el Señor empezó a poner en mi corazón el peso de a dirigirnos a este grupo de personas. There was a weight given to me in my heart by the Lord to address this need for knowledge and understanding, to put the right things first, right? First things first, as Peter tells us in his letter. Como Pedro nos dice en su carta, que hay que poner las primeras cosas primeras. And as we're going to talk about today, the precepts of God, precepts upon precept that we build on. Así también, como dice la escritura, como vamos a estudiar hoy, es los preceptos de Dios, que hay que poner precepto sobre precepto para poder entender las cosas y hacerlo correctamente y entenderlas bien. So, el Señor puso en mi corazón ese peso, pero honestamente mi mente era de empezarlo en enero, o ahora, este día o ayer, pues por supuesto, en el nuevo año 2019. No lo iba a empezar antes, no era mi plan, mi trayectoria era 2019. So in my planning, I had planned to make it to start that ministry, a Shabbat ministry, a Sabbath ministry for 2019. So that was my idea, that was my planning. So, but one Saturday I think it was in October. One Saturday, I woke up in the morning, and the Lord had me focus on this ministry. Una mañana en octubre 27, exactly, el Señor me levantó por la mañana. Yo me levanté, pero me levanté con un peso, una urgencia en mi ser sobre el ministerio sabático. it was a burden that was on my heart. It laid heavy, more so than ever before, because if I already planned to go and to do a Sabbath ministry in 2019, which was my plan, why would I have this heavy burden in my heart that morning? It was very strange. And then when things are strange like that, I pay attention to that. Esa mañana, tú sabes, yo, como ya yo iba a empezar el ministerio sabático en 2019, yo no estaba pensando más nada hasta 2019. Así que no tenía ninguna razón de yo sentir tanta urgencia. Era muy extraño para mí esa mañana, me sentí extraño. Pues tanta urgencia empezar, y yo entendí que era del Señor, que el Señor quería que yo empezara hoy, ese día, el 27 de octubre de 2018. So it was my understanding that morning that the Lord wanted me to start today. That Saturday morning, that Sabbath morning, that the Lord wanted me to begin it today. It cannot wait till 2019. So then I said, it's so strange. I said, then this must be the Lord. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get on this. At that time, I had the Periscope, access to Periscope Twitter, and through the phone app here. And so I went and did it that day. After I did the teaching, I then started to look at the news. Después que yo hice la enseñanza esta mañana, la primera enseñanza sabático en el día sábado, pues entonces después puse a mirar. Normalmente siempre veo noticias en la computadora. Usually my norm is when I open up these browsers, the first thing on my browser is the news. I open up always to Google News. And to my surprise and shock, I saw then the issue that happened on that day, that had happened earlier, while after I had, as you'll see here, the timing. It's very curious. And so this article, the True Shabbat Church starts on significant date, is on TSPCI.org under the True Shabbat Church heading. Aquí en la sección de la iglesia verdadera, la iglesia de la enseñanza verdadera de Shabbat, aquí dice, entonces el artículo se encuentra, y entonces aquí tú puedes leer, aunque está en inglés aquí, o puede traducir por Google Translate lo que dije aquí. Pues de todo modo es un rápido testimonio de lo que me pasó esa mañana. Now, if you read this, it's very interesting because I didn't know what was going on and what had happened. For those of you who don't know what happened, it was the day of the synagogue shooting. If anyone can remember, el día que lo que pasó esa mañana era el día de la matanza en la sinagoga. Yo no sé si ustedes pueden recordar de esa matanza. So that's what happened that morning. It's very, like you can imagine. I felt, wow, this is crazy. That was my first thing. This is really, really crazy. Something that who could even imagine that? And then it started to click. Oh my goodness. And I woke up this morning and I felt a great urging to begin the ministry today, that it had to be today, not wait till 2019. Entonces me vino a la mente que, mira eso, que el Señor me levantó con ese peso de empezar ese ministerio hoy y no esperar mi plan de hombre, mi plan de empezarlo en 2019. and I was so amazed. I was shocked. I was amazed, and and it confirmed that this thing is of God. Confirmó que estas cosas era de Dios, que Dios quería que de mi ministerio, esta iglesia, empezara una extensión, un alcanzamiento a dirigirse al pensamiento sabático. So we, this it's a confirmation and affirmation that the Lord wanted this church also now, because our church addresses itself to many issues, beginning at the individual and going out to the family, then going out to the community, and then the world, in different levels of society. And then now, too, reaching out to this need that people are having to understand what the Sabbath is and what it's all about. Because this is those of you who are not aware of it, there's growing movements out there of all types and colors that are taking and steering people back into a place where they really shouldn't be going, just because they don't understand. And it's going against God's own word and God's own workings. If you go to Jeremiah 31 to 33, you see that God already fixed the problem with the law and the Sabbath. He already fixed it. But these movements are designed to bring people away from what God is doing and back into a failed system. Estamos viendo que un surgimiento de iglesias, de religiones que están tratando de convencer a los cristianos a que dejan lo que Dios ha hecho con la iglesia o con el plan de Dios para los hombres, descrita en Jeremías 31 hasta 33, que Dios dice que Él, porque lo primero falló, la gente fallaron con la ley y el sábado. Primeramente, Dios iba a hacer otra cosa. ¿Sí? Entonces ellos quieren hacer que las personas vuelven, que niegan entonces la eficacia de Cristo. They're trying to make people deny the efficacy of Christ, of his work on the cross, which is described, the work that he did is really described in Jeremiah 31:33. El trabajo, la obra de Cristo, que lo que hizo él en la cruz de Calvario está descrito en una forma antiguo testamentaria, para los que me entienden, en Jeremías 31 hasta 33. Es la obra de Dios de poner adentro del hombre su justicia, su palabra, su ley. Y ellos quieren que uno deja lo que Dios ha hecho para volver a las primeras cosas que Dios ya dijo que no trabaja. They want people to abandon the work of Christ in their heart after they accepted Jesus Christ into your heart. And then want you to go back to the first covenant when God himself said they break. He said it's broken. The people broke it. See? Y entonces lo que quieren hacer ver, what they want people to think, is that, they broke it because of their disobedience. All you have to do is obey. So, ellos quieren decir a uno que ellos rompieron la ley porque desobedecieron. Y entonces lo único que hay que hacer es obedecer. Pero eso no es lo que dice Jehová. But that isn't, fixing it by obeying what they didn't do, supposedly, is not what Jehovah said he was doing. He said he was going to do a new thing. Él dijo que iba a hacer algo nuevo, un nuevo pacto. He said a new covenant, he will make. And we're not dealing with the issue of the telling Israel that because he was talking to Israel. Don't say, oh, but he said that to Israel. Yeah, but it doesn't mean that he's only doing it to Israel. He's not saying this is all that I'm doing, right? If people just don't get it, he's talking to a specific crowd. Doesn't mean that that's all that he's doing or that he's only doing it for them. Okay, so it's just people just don't understand. Hay gente que dice, no, pero él estaba hablando con Israel. Es un nuevo pacto con los hijos de Israel. Mira, pero no quiere decir que está Dios limitándose lo que hace con Israel. Solo que eso es un pacto que iba a hacer con ellos. Pero no quiere decir que él no lo hizo con otros. O sea, que lo que está haciendo, que no lo está haciendo con, sino que esto es un pacto que va a hacer con ellos. And we get that story, that precept, see? Now that we're talking about precepts, you're going to get a little bit about it already. When Jesus says the story about the early laborers and the later laborers, right? The ones that came in early, that were there from the beginning, Israel, got paid the same thing than those that came in last. Everybody else. You see that? So Jesus teaches that in his parable. Y eso, la gente no entiende. Cuando Jesús llamó, tú sabes, los obreros primero, los obreros que estuvieron desde el principio y les pagó lo mismo de los que vinieron últimos. La gente, nosotros estamos aquí desde el principio. ¿Ya understand? Y no entienden que ese es un precepto de Dios. This is a precept of God. So just because God is saying something to Israel and saying that I'm going to do this, between you and me, it doesn't exclude the rest of the world. Not we are not in the covenant, but the work that he's doing is not exclusive to the covenant. That's what needs to be said. El trabajo, lo que quiere decir que la obra que Dios está haciendo no es exclusivo al pacto que Dios está haciendo con Israel. Porque siempre el trato con Dios con Israel ha sido a base de pactos. Because the basis of God's relationship with Israel has always been with covenant. This is the covenant between you. And there's a reason for that, but again, you have to keep studying with us to understand what that's happening. So, if you go here, you read the whole story of that morning. Toda la historia en esa mañana está escrito allá. It's interesting, though, about what the Jews were learning that morning. That's what you have to look at. You got to look at that article. Hay que mirar ese artículo en el sitio de internet para leer exactamente qué era la enseñanza esa mañana en las sinagogas. There was a teaching going on, scheduled, because they usually teach, they follow a calendar for teaching. Ellos siguen un calendario para enseñanza, para que la sinagoga estén enseñando las mismas cosas en el mismo día. Y como el calendario judío tiene ciertas fiestas, tiempos, pues ellos aseguran que las enseñanzas apoyan lo que está sucediendo, lo que viene o lo que ya ha pasado. So, durante ese día, era el Pashat Vayera. There was the Pashat Vayera was being taught in the synagogues, and and the topic is interesting in relationship to what happened and also to the startup of our Shabbat ministry. Es interesante ver que la enseñanza que estaban aprendiendo esa mañana en relación con lo que sucedió y también el comienzo del ministerio sabático. And I say here this. We believe that Yahweh has ordained this ministry to play a vital role in bringing the true understanding of Shabbat to all communities and peoples whom up to now have not been exposed to it truly, even though many who observe Shabbat believe that they are fulfilling the law of God in this respect. Jehová ha ordenado este ministerio a tomar un papel vital en trayendo la verdadera enseñanza del sábado a todas comunidades y gentes quienes hasta hoy no han sido expuestos a ello, aún muchos aquellos que observan el Sabbat creyendo que están cumpliendo con la ley de Dios, con la ley de Dios. Simply, the world remains in the dark as to the meaning of Shabbat, fostering false ideation, misconceived attitudes of superiority on all sides, and the hatred expressed on both sides due to the ignorance, which is relating to what happened that unfortunate happening on the day. Y esto crea la atmósfera que se vio en aquel día, cuando esa persona mató a los 11. Habían 11 judíos muertos, 11 personas que estaban en asistencia en aquella sinagoga que fueron matados. El 11 significado. I go through this a little bit also in the article. En el artículo también hablo un poco del significado del número 11. And so it is a very significant day. The teaching is there. The day itself, even the date itself, we examine the date itself to show what is going on. If you can see the article for yourself at tspci.org. Everything is very significant, and even more so, the fact that God had me start on that morning when I didn't even know what was happening. Yo no sabía lo que estaba pasando, sucediendo, pero el Señor me puso a hacer empezar el ministerio sabático ese mismo mañana y obedecí. Y tenemos entonces mucha evidencia y apoyo bíblico, apoyo de las enseñanzas bíblicas sobre que Dios quiere el ministerio que tenemos hacia los sabáticos, los que observan el sábado, los que se interesan en conocer del sábado, los que están pensando que deben de guardar el sábado y todas esas cosas, pues el Señor nos ha puesto para traer esas enseñanzas, corrigiendo los errores por las tradiciones de hombre y trayendo la verdadera enseñanza sobre al respecto. So God has given us enough proof, enough evidences, supporting evidence to affirm that God wants our ministry to reach out to people who are observing the Sabbath, people who are thinking about observing the Sabbath, people who are confused or not knowledgeable enough about the Sabbath, because at this day and age, why people don't know or understand what the Shabbat is it's telling in itself. You have to admit that. I mean, how many thousands of years the Shabbat has been going on, and people still don't understand what it's all about. And those who say, "Oh, this is Jesus," it's Jesus. I said, but you're not helping anyone who is reading and convinced that we got to do this. It says to do it. You're not helping anybody just by saying it's that, it's that, it's that. It's like you know the answer, but you don't know how to do the math. What good is that, really? Esto, las personas dicen, bueno, el sábado es Jesús, es Jesús. Tienen que aceptar a Jesús. Jesús es el cumplimiento del sábado, ya. Eso es como decir a las personas aprendiendo matemáticas, pues mira, esta es la respuesta. Entonces te pregunta, ¿cómo llegaste a esa respuesta? Oh, yo no sé, yo solo sé la respuesta. Él no entiende la matemática, no sabes el por qué, no sabes, no tiene base. Solo tiene una respuesta que si no tiene base, tú no estás ni seguro. Hay que estar seguro. You're not even sure of why you have that answer. That means anyone can come and throw you off base because you don't have any supporting evidence for your answer. It's just, oh, that's what it is. That's what it is. That's what someone told me. These are not answers, ladies and gentlemen. And this is why we have the problem we have in church. That's why you have so many people who used to be Pentecostal, used to be Christian, evangelical, and now they're Seventh-day Adventists. That's the reason why. Seventh-day Adventists would not exist if Pentecostals and evangelicals would have learned what they need to be learning. See? That's my point. There would be none of these other little churches in there. They would be taught truth and not just giving an answer. This is it. This is what it is. Believe in it. That's not. It's not going. That's why you have so many different churches, so many different religions, so many people doing things their own way because there's no understanding. And then the ones that have supposedly have the answer don't have the understanding to give supportive evidence. La razón que hay tantas religiones, tantas cosas, confusión en este mundo es porque la gente quiere lo que tienen el evangelio, lo que las iglesias pentecostales, iglesias evangélicas, todo el que se llama cristiano, pues solo tienen respuesta. Es por esto, es por lo que es por esto, es así, es así. Ay, ¿y cómo tú sabes qué hacer? Porque eso es lo que el Papa dijo, eso es porque el pastor me dijo. No saben la evidencia, no tienen evidencia, no tienen apoyo, base. Y esa es la razón que entonces estas otras iglesias vienen, esta otra idea, ideología, vienen y convencen, porque los cristianos no tienen base, solo tienen respuestas, pero no tienen base. See? And that's been a main part of our ministry is to provide supportive evidence. Is to show it so that you understand why you believe in what you're believing. Why you're under, it's more of an understanding. Because belief, see, that's what, oh my goodness, now we're getting to the teaching of what belief means, right? It's a mess out there, oh my goodness. Es una tragedia, porque aún la cree, ¿qué es creencia? ¿Qué es la fe? ¿Sí? Eso, han cambiado las definiciones de estas palabras para rellenar la falta de evidencia. So these words have been changed and modified in meaning to cover for or to fluff in, to fill in the missing areas which are supposed to be filled or structured with evidence, with basis. But it isn't. It doesn't have it. You have baseless Christianity. Tenemos una cristianismo, una cristiandad o la realidad cristiana sin base. Las personas solo aceptando lo que se le dice, sin tener base. So we have people, Christians, call themselves Christian, but they have no basis for what they're saying. So how are you going to help anyone out there in the world, actually? ¿Cómo tú vas a ayudar a alguien en el mundo si no tiene base? ¿Cómo vamos a hacer luz en el mundo si no hay luz? Si no hay estructura? Maybe, you know, well, you got a flash, you got an idea of what a light is. It's not real light. ¿Qué es eso? Una cosa de cámara, de momento, y no hay nada más. ¿Cómo se va a dejar llevar por un momentaria, espontánea brillo allí? Sin apoyo, sin estructura, sin base que alumbra, que cualquiera vea y entienda. So, eso es lo que carece. This is what the Christian church in general is missing. And I say it because I've been around dealing with other Christians, spending their time fighting with me. Muchos cristianos perdiendo el tiempo peleando conmigo. Oye, y los musulmanes ganando territorio. And you got the Muslims gaining territory and ground. While you guys are fighting each other. Mientras que los cristianos se están matándose uno al otro. El enemigo está dando vueltas, está haciendo el creyente adormecerlo para que no haga lo que está supuesto a hacer, para que no crezcamos en la obra del Señor, en la gracia del Señor. You know, the devil's running circles around Christians so that you don't do what you're supposed to be doing. having you putting you in conflict with the church, with people who can probably help you to do the right thing, and you have a problem with them. The devil has you fooled. And in the meantime, the Muslims and everything else out there, all false religion ideas, they're taking advantage of this state of mayhem and confusion. So, for those of you who are sober, para aquellos que son sobrios, pues este ministerio está aquí. So this ministry is here for you. When you stop your stupor and you're spinning around in madness, then we're ready here to help you. Cuando usted deja ya de estar dando vueltas en sus locuras, pues nuestro ministerio está aquí para ayudarte y para instruirte. Okay, so Sabbath church is going on every Saturday. In the new churches that we're building, we'll be getting places of worship. We will be online through the TV screens in that temple, in that place of worship. I will be giving Saturday classes. And the difference between those classes and what I do here on Sunday is specifically that those classes will have to do with Torah. We will just be talking Torah and discussing these issues about Sabbath and the Hebrew and stuff like that. That will be going on every Saturday for those people who are interested. There's a whole bunch of people who are looking into that, and so we're going to be there as a resource for them and to reach out to them. Hay mucha gente que están buscando esa información, están inquietos por lo mucho que la Biblia habla del sábado y la ley. So, en los sábados, en los templos que estamos adquiriendo, vamos a tener abiertos los sábados y yo voy a estar enseñando en los sábados sobre esos temas en particular, que es diferente que lo que estamos haciendo los domingos, con la excepción ahora que estamos en el mismo sección de la Biblia. So, estamos todos en Torah ahorita mismo. Pero ahorita, después cuando el Señor terminamos el Torah, pues el domingo será como normalmente diferentes aspectos de la palabra, donde el Señor nos lleva en esa época. Pero la iglesia del sábado va a mantenerse en los temas mayormente de los primeros 5 libros de la Biblia, que es referido la Torah. Okay, so and everyone that's interested in learning more about Torah and learning more about the Sabbath can always tune in on a Saturday. If you're doing nothing, you want to study, get into the Word more, get deeper into understanding those things, then you can join in the Sabbath teaching on that day. And everyone else can just join us regularly on the Sunday, whichever one you prefer and that you need for yourself. Okay, so very good. So that's the latest. So the church really right now has a I'll show you the little broadcast entry that we use for the Sabbath church. There's a different I changed the logo a little bit and modified it for the Sabbath church, and here it is. Look at the logo. Pay attention. Look at the logo. There's certain symbols there. It's wonderful. So that's the logo for our Shabbat church. Here we have the regular logo for our general church. And you see those symbols there. I'll take another time, another day, talk about those symbols and what they mean. It's pretty clear though what they are, but and I'll be referring to those symbols often in those teachings on the Sabbath. Just let me get something else for myself here that I need. For myself. Okay, so we're going to go into our teaching for today, and it's time for us to go into a review of what we had started with before. So let me just make an adjustment here. Um, let's see where I can get that from. Yeah, oh, I see this. And this has just I'm just making a preparation here. Let's zoom that here. Sorry, fellows, just give me just a second um, to set this up. It wasn't something I neglected to do. Okay. Yeah, this is the. Let's see. All right, just one moment, folks. One moment. So we'll be slowly adding things to your screen. One moment. Just give me a second here. And okay. All right. Let me just make sure that the audio is still going through. Yes, it is. All right. So in a few weeks, we'll have this straightened out. This is the first time going actually through an actual broadcast with this stuff. All right. So to give us a recap, to get us back in time and get things back in our minds, and for the new people who are watching, haven't probably don't know about these things that we've already covered. So I'm going to go through them very quickly. Esto es un resumen para aquellos que es la primera vez para ellos con nosotros y para darle un resumen de donde estuvimos ya y lo que hemos enseñado ya. Y para nosotros refrescar nuestra mente, la memoria de las cosas que hemos ya hablado. Exodus 19 is a very important part of the Bible. El Éxodo 19 es un capítulo muy importante en la palabra de Dios. It's something that everyone needs to know well. Es un capítulo que todo el mundo debe conocer bien. So you need to really spend some time here because this is the setup for the Ten Commandments. Entiendes que esto es ¿cómo se llama? La preparación para los 10 mandamientos. Todo el mundo debe conocer Éxodo 19. Okay? I'm making that emphasis that you need to understand, read, and know Exodus 19 very carefully. Very carefully. Okay? Don't let anything happen in Exodus 19 without you appreciating what God is trying to show you. And I say show you literally, show you. Everything here is a show. It's a showing. It's a presentation. el Éxodo 19 es una presentación, ¿cómo se llama eso en español? Oye, es una demostración muy específicamente, demostración. Cuando yo digo demostración, Dios está demostrando algo aquí. Así que cada movimiento, cada acción y cada palabra es una demostración. No lees Éxodo 19 como lo demás cosas que lees. Éxodo 19 necesita su tiempo, necesita que usted toma bien conscientemente lo que Dios está demostrando. So you need to take everything very carefully for Exodus 19 because this sets up everything else. And this is where everybody's confused, or most of all the confusion that's out there concerning the law and the Ten Commandments is because they don't read Exodus 19. They don't understand it. And reading is not enough. You have to understand. It's called reading comprehension. It's not just reading. Yeah, this, that, that. No. You have to understand what is being said. There's things called inference, right? Other things that aren't said but are implied. You have to understand English or Spanish or whatever it is that you're reading, even Hebrew. No, nosotros debemos tener mucho cuidado aquí, que hay que no solamente leer lo que dice Éxodo 19, sino también entender. El entendimiento es parte de la lectura, es parte de leyendo. Tú no puedes leer cosas si no hay entendimiento. Así que Éxodo 19 contiene muchas acciones, muchos movimientos, muchas posiciones, relaciones que uno tiene que apreciar. O si no, no entiende lo que Dios está tratando de hacer aquí. En las enseñanzas que di sobre esto, hablé de la coreografía. ¿Sí? Coreografía es la danza, en la posición de los cuerpos y las pisadas, todo tiene una coreografía. Coreografía es un arte. Y el coreógrafo está tratando de expresar unas, unas ideas, una historia a través de el diseño, su arte de la coreografía. ¿Entiendes? So you have to understand that, God is showing us a picture. He's always showing us pictures. Dios siempre nos está dándonos un escenario. Siempre está dibujando un retrato, un dibujo que hay que entenderlo, hay que apreciarlo. Así que Exodus 19 is absolute required material. 19, Éxodo 19 es requerido, mis amados. Here we see God talks about what makes Israel a peculiar treasure. He also specifies. See, this is like one of the most important things about the law and about the Ten Commandments. Right here, verse 3 of Exodus 19. Aquí el verso 3 del Éxodo 19, lo más importante sobre la ley y los 10 mandamientos es esta línea. What does it say? ¿Qué dice? Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob and tell the children of Israel. Let's look at that in Spanish. Vamos a mirar eso en español. El 3. Right? Moisés subió a Dios y Jehová lo llamó, diciendo que así dirás ¿a quién? A la casa de Jacob, y anunciarás a los hijos de Israel. Of course, people say and will tell you, well, there were Gentiles there. The law is for everyone, and the Sabbath because there were Gentiles in the multitude. It calls them the multitude. So at the Mount Sinai, as we already studied, but for the new people, at Mount Sinai there were Gentiles there. This is why many of the people who are telling Christians today to follow the law, and they have to follow the law on the Sabbath, is because there were Gentiles there. That's their response to us when we say God was talking to the Jews, to Israel. And they said, no, but there were Gentiles there. Vean, había judíos ahí, había Israel, había gentiles, dicen ellos. Los que hablan y enseñan que todo el mundo tiene que obedecer la ley. Ellos dicen que la ley es para todo el mundo, toda la humanidad. They will say to you that the law is for all humanity, for all man. Right? But here in Exodus 19, it doesn't say that. They are contradicting the word of God. Ellos contradicen la palabra de Dios, de la boca de Yahweh mismo, from Yahweh's own mouth. His voice said, tell the house of Jacob, the children of Israel. They were Gentiles there, había gentiles ahí, pero Dios no dice, así dirás a todos. Así dirás a todos los hombres que van contigo. Podía haber Dios dicho así. My goodness. Como si Dios tuviera que... ¿Qué pasa con Dios entonces? Si ustedes están correctos. Entonces, ¿qué es el problema con Dios? God doesn't have a problem. You have a problem because you don't read. You can't read. Ustedes tienen problemas que no pueden leer. Even with the Gentiles there, aún con los gentiles allí, parados, Dios dijo a Moisés, habla tú, dirás a las casas de Jacob y anunciarás a los hijos de Israel. A los hijos de Israel, right here. No dice a todo el mundo. Léelo tú. Read it yourself. It doesn't say everyone. It doesn't say the whole world. God could have said it. Hey, listen. If God intended, I think God is an adult enough for him to speak his mind. Clearly. Pienso que Dios es adulto suficiente. Que él puede decir lo que hay en su mente claramente. La casa de Jacob anunciarás a los hijos de Israel. You're the house of Jacob, and you will announce to the children of Israel. Okay? And then we go into the fact that they were going to be priests. Another thing. Serán una nación de sacerdotes. O sea que los sacerdotes tienen que hacer algo para otra gente. Pero si toda la nación es sacerdote, ¿cuáles son los demás gente? So here we see another issue that, God says, you shall be unto me a kingdom of priests, verse 6, and a holy nation. Okay, so if they're a kingdom of priests, a priest does certain things on behalf of other people. But if all the nations are priests, who are the other people? And this goes to the point of what God is trying to make Israel. He's trying to make Israel into something. And one of the characteristics of it is that they would be ministering priestly to other people. To other people. Now, who could the other people be? Well, the verse before says, ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people. For all the earth is mine. Fíjese que dice aquí que será mi... ¿Por qué Dios le va a ser sacerdote a esta gente? ¿Sobre quiénes? Entonces, para buscar la respuesta a eso, el 5, que dice, seréis mi especial tesoro, hablando a Israel, sobre todos los pueblos, porque mía es toda la tierra. Así que todos los pueblos son ¿qué? What are all the people? You guys know this, so who learned it already. All the people of the earth are treasure, are God's treasure. Toda la gente, todos los pueblos de la tierra son tesoro para Dios. Pero Israel estaba supuesto a ser especial tesoro sobre todos los pueblos. ¿Qué dice ahí? You see, but God selected Israel to be a special treasure above all other people. But above all other people. But the other people are treasures too, right? Then there were supposed to be ministers and priests to those other people. Estaban supuestos a ser ministros y sacerdotes a los otros pueblos. Eso era la función de Israel. Todo lo que Dios estaba haciendo, preparando, diciendo a Israel, haga esto, haga aquello. Everything that God was telling to Israel, do this, do that, do this, don't do this, was to make them the priests, the example. What are priests? They're examples, role models. And above all, they are teachers. Y sobre todo son maestros a todo el pueblo. Como yo estoy siendo ministro, yo estoy siendo sacerdote ahora mismo. Yo estoy enseñando a las multitudes, a los otros pueblos. Yo estoy haciendo lo que Dios dijo que Israel estaba supuesto a hacer. So as you see me now, I am doing the role of a priest, the role of a teacher, a minister, amongst all the peoples of the earth. I'm doing that. I'm fulfilling that. And what you should be looking at here is a child of Israel. That's what God had intended, that a child of Israel from the house of Jacob be here with you today, teaching you of what God's word means. That's what God intended for Israel. Jeremiah 31 to 30. But the first covenant they break. Pero Jeremías 31 a 30. Pero el primer pacto los rompieron. That's why this didn't happen. That's why you're not seeing that today. You don't see it because they break the first covenant. Usted no ve aquello porque ellos rompieron el primer pacto. You have to settle with me. Tiene que conformarse conmigo. I got the beard though, okay? Santo. Okay, so I have a beard. Tengo la barba, pues ya. Confórmase con eso. All right, people. I mean, it's very clear here. Look at the rest of 19. It's a up and down. And God is showing you a lot of truth here. Fantastic. We gave the teaching before. So those who got it. Those have to wait till I replay it if I have it. Lord knows where it is. I'm not saying anything. Pero si tenemos la enseñanza, debe ser grabada. Si no, pues el Señor sabrá. Pero el 19 es un capítulo muy importante. All right, so let's go into 20. 20 is where the 10 commandments are. El 20 donde están los 10 mandamientos. And again, just to refresh your mind, refrescar la mente otra vez, lo que la gente no se enfoca, something that people are not paying attention to when they talk about Exodus 20 is what? Exodus 20 verse 2 is something that people leave out. You don't hear it mentioned. Usted no oye hablar mucho del Éxodo 20 verso 2. God is telling Israel something in verse 2, but you don't hear about it. You only hear the 10 commandments from verse 3 on. Usted solamente oye de los 10 mandamientos del verso 3 en adelante, pero tú no oye del verso 2. Y la mayoría, I remember when I was a little kid, I would read here, but I would read just through it because nothing registered to me when I was a child that verse 2 was anything important. Verse 2 and verse 1 was probably almost treated the same way when I was a child. And cuando yo era niño más joven, porque soy joven y hermoso, pero cuando yo era un poco menos, yo leía este verso 1 y 2 del capítulo 20 y lo pasaba así, rápido, pues no ponía yo importancia en el verso 2 más que el verso 1. ¿Qué dice el verso 1?
y habló todo Dios todas estas palabras diciendo. Entonces, que son como palabras así de relleno. Y uno sigue y dice, yo soy Jehová tu Dios, que te saqué de la tierra de Egipto, de casa de servidumbre. Y uno sigue. Entonces, ahora los 10 mandamientos, y uno ahí, estos son los 10 mandamientos. Ese es el trato que nos enseñan. Y es el trato que yo mismo como niño, pues yo hacía. So the treatment that we usually do with chapter 20 here and with most of the Bible is that we go into reading and we start like this. We go, and God spake all these words saying. You see, it's like a preparatory statement. It's just one of those things. You're not going to learn anything spiritual from that, so you just keep going. I am the Lord thy God, which I brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. And we keep reading. Now the 10 Commandments. Now we're at the 10 Commandments. This is really where the beef is. That's our thinking. And I used to read it like that myself when I was a little kid just a few days ago. But we miss over an important statement by God. Pero entonces pasamos una frase muy importante por Dios. And if God was a man, then the way we all read it would be fine. Si Dios era un hombre, entonces la manera que nosotros lo leemos sería bien, porque nosotros leemos el verso 2, por ejemplo, y decimos, oh, yo soy el Dios que te saqué de aquí y de allá, y decimos, eso siempre es lo que Dios dice. Decimos, Dios siempre, yo soy aquel, yo soy el Dios yo soy el Dios de tus padres, de tus hijos, de tus antecedentes, yo soy el Dios de Jacob, de Abraham, de Isaac. Nosotros ya como hemos leído la palabra, y hemos visto muchas veces que Dios dice, yo soy, Entonces no ponemos atención a esto. Since we already read the Bible, most of us have heard already, have seen, read scripture, and you see God saying, oh, I am the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, and I did this, and I did that. Okay, so since we come reading all these things from beforehand, we come here and we see it again, and we don't make note of it and we have to realize that this is not those times. We have to realize that this, in terms of the progression and the chronological happenings, this is a moment by itself, a moment that's particular, because especially with what's coming after. Tenemos que ver que esto es un momento particular, especialmente con lo que va a venir, especialmente con lo que viene. And then when we say, wait a minute, God is saying this for a reason, and it isn't for vain glory, for vanity. Entonces podemos pensar que Dios está diciendo esto por una razón y no es por vanagloria. ¿Es Dios vanaglorioso? Is God vain? Okay, so then verse 2 has nothing to do with vanity. I am the God. He has angels that praise him and worship him. He doesn't need to self-worship. He doesn't need to remind himself or bathe himself in his own glorifications. Dios no necesita gloriarse. Él es merecedor de alabanza y de honra y de gloria. Él no y lo recibe, gloria a Dios. A él sea toda la gloria y honra. Él no necesita estar alabándose y dándose pompón. El verso 2 no es Dios dándose pompón. Verse 2 is not God giving himself glory. Verse 2 is an important part of what's coming up. El verso 2 es una parte importante, íntegro de lo que va a venir. And so he tells him, he reminds them. So what is it then? Is it a self-glorification or is it a reminder? It's a reminder, es un recordatorio. Yo soy el Dios, I am the Lord thy God. Yo soy el Señor tu Dios, who have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, quien te ha sacado de la tierra de Egipto. What does that mean? It means something. Out of the house of bondage. Fuera, te saqué de la casa de esclavitud, de servidumbre, en español. See? And you have to remember that servitude, what is bondage? They were slaves. Estos eran esclavos. What do slaves do? What is the primary thing a slave is expected, whipped, and grown up and taught to do over all things? ¿Qué es lo que un esclavo está castigado y enseñado y criado a hacer sobre todas las cosas? Primaria. Obedecer. Obey. They have to obey. Whatever they hear, they have to obey it. Lo que oyen tienen que obedecerlo. So, what is God telling them, reminding them before he gives them the law and the Ten Commandments and the law that follows? ¿Qué es lo que Dios está recordando a Israel antes de recibir los 10 mandamientos? ¿De qué lo está recordando a ellos? Le está recordando que ya no son esclavos. He's reminding them that they are no longer slaves. Hello? So what does that mean? If he's telling you you're no longer a slave, then how are we supposed to take the Ten Commandments and the law coming? Si te estás recordando que ya no eres esclavo, ¿cómo se debe tomar los 10 mandamientos y la ley que viene? Lo que va a decir. See, that is what has to be remembered. He reminded them. He told them, you're no longer a slave. Los recordó a ellos, sí, pero nosotros tenemos que recordarnos. Él les dijo, ya ustedes no son esclavos. So, ¿qué quiere decir? Ahora te digo 1, 2, 3, 4, no lo tome como. I tell you 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 10. How are you supposed to take it? How? At least don't take it like what? No lo tome como. Como esclavo. Don't take it as a slave. So when we don't take things as slaves, how do we take these instructions? ¿Cómo debemos tomar estas instrucciones? ¿Cómo así? Con reflexión, usando nuestro entendimiento y aprendiendo, porque a todo esto lo encapsuló Dios en un libro llamado Torah. Because we have to take reflection and look at it, meditate and reflect upon what God is saying, because he has enveloped all of these sayings in a book called Torah, which means instruction. It means to teach. This is instruction. Esto es enseñanza. If you were just a slave, then you would just have to obey it. No thinking involved. Leave your brain at the door. But God gave us a brain to think, for goodness sake. Si esto era para solamente obedecerla, entonces no necesitamos cerebro. Déjale el cerebro en la puerta. Y así tienen muchas iglesias, dejan su cerebro aquí en la puerta porque adentro no lo va a necesitar. Leave your brain at the door. Wouldn't that be funny? In your churches, that's what they should have at the door. A repository for brains, because you don't need it when you walk in. Here we just obey. Some churches like that. Just have to obey what God said. Just obey. Hay que obedecer lo que Dios dijo ya. Pues deja el cerebro porque tú no necesitas uno. All right. So we're not going back there again. We already did that. Los 20 fantásticos, los 10 mandamientos aquí. Ya hemos explicado. Another thing you have to note, remember that we talked about the difference in time. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the time. The difference of opinion. Vemos aquí una diferencia de opinión. Aquí, and we'll just go point it out to it, okay. And verse 20, verso 20 de capítulo 20 de Éxodo, verse 20 of the 20th chapter of Exodus, right after the Ten Commandments, Moses says to the people why these things are happening. See? He tells the people why these things are happening. And then in 22, the Lord said unto Moses, then the Lord tells him something different. A little thing, I'm not going to teach on this again, but it's just a little thing you got to look at. El verso 20 dice Moisés al pueblo la razón que está sucediendo lo que está sucediendo. Entonces viene el 22 y Dios dice a Moisés la razón que está pasando las cosas, pero son distintos. Entonces esto es un punto clave también de la Biblia. This is also another pivotal moment for teaching, because here beautifully God shows us through the record that there is a difference of opinion. There's a difference of perspective about what God is doing and why, and what people think the reason is for God doing what He's doing. That difference is totally important for you to see and to understand. La diferencia aquí que se ve es lo que Dios dice de lo que está haciendo y lo que el hombre piensa de lo que Dios está haciendo. Y aquí vemos la diferencia. En esto se puede estudiar profundamente, which is something that I would do, but I don't ask you guys to do that. This is a very important, here we see characteristics. You can study this. This is something that can be analyzed and studied to find the difference in character, the difference in nature between God's perspective, at least into this detail, God's perspective and man's perspective. This right here is a study of religion. Right there. You don't need anymore. You want to study religion, you want to understand why religion is what it is, and why things are the way they are. This is just two verses you need right there. 20 and 22. Esto es el estudio de religión puro y todo inclusivo. Puede analizarlo científicamente si uno tiene la capacidad para hacerlo. El verso 20 y el 22, la comparación entre lo que Dios dice, lo que es, y lo que el hombre piensa. And that difference defines a whole lot of the misconceptions that people have, because it's not what God said and what He intended, but the misconceptions that people have about what God said and what God intended. Así que se puede analizar aquí con esto y ver que hay una diferencia entre lo que Dios dice, lo que Dios entiende, o sea, no entiende, intenta para el hombre, y lo que el hombre piensa que Dios quiso decir. It's the same issue of Exodus, the Ten Commandments, right? We believe that God said you have to do this and not do this and that. We believe and we're told that we have to obey these things, obey, and that's another word that's been changed over time, but that we have to obey these things. Nosotros hemos sido enseñados también que hay que obedecer los 10 mandamientos, es la ley que dice la palabra que hay que obedecerla, pero no estamos entendiendo que hay una diferencia en lo que Dios dice y lo que el hombre piensa. y también específicamente que Dios dijo antes en el verso 2 de Éxodo que ya no son esclavos. See, he said that. He said in verse 2 of Exodus, you're no longer slaves. So that issue of obeisance has to be looked into very carefully because he told them, you're no longer slaves. So by right, they did not have to take it. And God was telling them, don't take this as you did an instruction in Egypt. Lo que Dios estaba diciendo a ellos claramente, específicamente, no toma esto como una orden en Egipto cuando estuvieron en Egipto. Estos no son órdenes. Esto es instrucción. So God is specifically saying that these are not orders. These are instruction. It's different. There's a difference. Of course, there's a right way to do things. Do you really need to be ordered to wipe your butt? I got to bring it down home because some people need, they need some plain English. Tengo que decirlo así francamente y brutamente porque hay alguna gente que no entienden, y la cosa es si usted necesita a alguien mandarte a limpiarte el posterior, ya tú entiendes lo que estoy diciendo. ¿Sí? Usted no necesite que te ordenen, que te comanden. Voy a hablar así en español, están las palabras mal dichas, pero para exponer la pasión del intento. Ustedes no necesitan que te manden a hacer lo que está correcto, lo que es razonable, lo que es beneficioso. ¿Sí? So, esta es la polémica que hay con estas palabras y con este trato, la manera en que se trata esta cosa. We see the verse 23 now. En verso 23, no harás ningún dios de plata ni a mí, with me. No harás conmigo dios de plata, ni hacerte dioses de oro. So he's telling them that, what is he telling them? We talked a lot about this. What type of people and what type of human activity would be characterized by the making or the having the possession of a god made of silver and a god made of gold? What would that be called back in the days of Egypt and Israel leaving Egypt? What was that known as? That's just a simple question, and many people don't ask, but it's a simple question. What would that be known as? ¿Qué será conocido? Una pregunta que hay que hacer aquí en el verso 23 es: no hagáis conmigo, dioses de plata ni dioses de oro os haréis. Y la pregunta sencilla que todos deben preguntar, es sencillo, es ¿a qué se caracteriza, a qué se conoce en estos tiempos y aún hoy día? ¿A qué se conoce con hacer Dios de plata y Dios de plata? ¿Qué actividad, qué contrato social se describa o se caracteriza con esos actos? ¿A qué se llama eso? Y todo dice religión, ¿verdad? Everyone should be saying what is characterized by that activity? Religion. A religious thing. Why? Because every other religion on the planet Earth had a silver or a gold god, had a gold of some type and some figure, carved or otherwise, that was their god. Every religion on the planet. Así que en estos tiempos, toda religión, cada religión, si tenías una religión, tenía que usted tener una estatua, una figura de oro, de plata, de madera, de cualquier cosa, una figura. Tenía que tenerlo. Porque entonces, ¿dónde está tu Dios? Viene la pregunta. So, if you didn't have a God on the table in your house, on the garden, the question is, where is your God? You are not, you're an atheist. You don't believe in God. I don't see any God. That's the way the world was back then. El mundo era así en aquel entonces, que viene, ¿dónde está tu Dios? ¿Dónde está? Ustedes son ateos, ustedes no creen. Oh, ustedes van a ir al infierno, ustedes no tienen a Dios. Ustedes son malditos. Yo no puedo estar ni aquí en esta casa porque ustedes no sirven a ni siquiera a un Dios. Porque va a caer un rayo un rayo del cielo y nos lleva a todos. Aquí, so, anyone and everyone in their understanding, if you didn't have a God on your house, protecting your house, you could be hit by a bolt of lightning. They wouldn't even want to be near you because you are despised by the gods. That type of thinking endured all the way through the Roman times, by the way. All the way through, even after Jesus, in the New Testament, that thinking has been a long-standing thought of humanity. You can see how much time it's remained. So, los pensamientos de si no tienes ninguna figura ahí, tú no eres ateo, tú no sirves a ningún Dios, tú estás en peligro, tú estás condenado. Ese pensamiento ha permanecido en la sociedad todo, desde aquel entonces, desde el principio hasta el fin hasta el fin de la Biblia, cuando tú ves los apóstoles que todavía tenían que bregar con gente y los dioses en Roma, también el mismo pensar existía. Okay, but what is God saying then with it? ¿Qué es lo que Dios está diciendo con esto? After the Ten Commandments, folks, you can't make this stuff up. It's right here. Después de los mandamientos, Dios dice esto. So, antes de los mandamientos dice no lo tome como esclavo. Y después de los mandamientos dice no hagáis lo que hacen los demás. No haga religión de esto. See? So he says before the Ten Commandments, don't take this like a slave. And then after that, here in verse 23, he tells them, hey, don't make a religion. So God is specifically saying not to make a religion here. From what we've been talking, this thing is not for religious purposes. Yet, you see what man has done to it, right? Just making a note of it, folks. Usted ve lo que la gente han hecho con esto. Después que Dios dice no lo tomen como esclavo, Éxodo 22, y ahora en el 23 dice no haga de esto una religión. Vemos lo que han hecho la gente. They've done the exact opposite, right? They've done it. They've taken the Ten Commandments and the law as slaves, that this has to be obeyed over anything else. Obeyed, not understood, not reflected, not meditated on, not understood, just obeyed. And then they made a religion out of it. Two things they did against what God is saying. Hay dos cosas que hicieron contra Dios aquí. Primeramente, cogieron los 10 mandamientos y la ley como esclavos para obedecerlo y nada más. No entendían, no hay necesidad de entenderla, no hay necesidad, solo hay que obedecerla, ya, punto, se acabó. Y número 2, han hecho de esto una religión. Exactamente lo que Dios dijo no se hiciese. Because they're going by, we don't have any statues. I said, that's not the point, brother. I mean, it was the point then, but it's the understanding. It's always the understanding. is that that was a religion. It was the thought that that means that you are religious. That means that you have, that you are serving a God, and that was good. But God is refusing that term and that application. Dios rehúsa la aplicación de religión a lo que él está diciendo. And why is that? ¿Y por qué es? Porque lo que Dios está diciendo no es religión. Lo que Dios está enseñando no es religión. What God is saying, the reason for that is that what God is saying is not religion. What God is showing us is not religion. What He is saying is truth. The truth. And nothing but. Lo que Dios está diciendo es la verdad y nada más. No es religión. No es religión. Es la verdad. And this is the distinction between what God was saying and what He was saying. If you took the 10 Commandments, si tomaste los 10 mandamientos como obedecerlas, nada más, sin entendimiento, entonces tú estás en una religión. Tú estás desobedeciendo el mando de Jehová. You are disobeying Jehovah if you took the 10 Commandments only to obey them. If you took the law as a thing only to be obeyed without any thinking, no understanding, no seeking the truths of Yah, of Jehovah, if all you are saying and spewing from your mouth, you have to obey this, obey that, then you are a slave. And you are a slave master, and you're violating what God said in Exodus 20, verse 2. Usted está violando la ley y lo que Dios dice. Si usted está mandando a la gente a obedecer la ley, obedezca el sábado, guarde el sábado. No hay que entender nada sino obedecer lo que Dios dice. Tú estás en violación con lo que Dios dice. Direct violation. And then on top of that, you make a church based on it. Y arriba de eso haces una iglesia, una religión basado en aquello. You made a religion based on disobeying God. La religión, la iglesia de los desobedientes a Jehová. That's the name of your church, buddy. El nombre de la iglesia de ellos debe ser la iglesia de los desobedientes de Jehová. The disobedient children of Yah church. We made a religion. We're obeying this without thinking. That's what should be, that's what you guys have to confess to. Eso es lo que tienen que admitir. They violated what God said to do or not to do. Okay. Easy. Okay, so then, and that's basically a summary of what we've done. Let us go in the last moments that we have, and my wife always complains, always in the last moments you get into it. Así que mi esposa da complaint que yo en los últimos momentitos es cuando llego al clave. Okay, so here we go. Chapter 21, we did right after this, after God says no religion, right? And after God said don't take the 10 Commandments like a slave, cuando después de Dios decir no toma los 10 mandamientos como esclavo, de decir entonces no hagas de esto una religión, entonces venimos al 21 directamente después, y entonces Dios empieza los preceptos. Then God begins to present the precepts. What they're called are literally, they're called the judgments of God. Estos son llamados los, ¿cómo dice en español? Oye, oh my, let me see if it has it here. No, it doesn't say it here. I had the word and I was saying it last time and now I forgot it. Estos son wow, se me fue lo que era. Anyway, I'll get it for you for next time in Spanish. But these are the judgments of God. En otras palabras, estos son las decisiones o las decisiones de Dios sobre ciertas circunstancias. ¿Ok? No son leyes, son decisiones basadas sobre los preceptos. ¿Ok? Porque a este momento no hay ley todavía para cubrir estas situaciones. Dios da sus determinaciones ya. En español se me olvidó el nombre de lo que se da, en inglés se llama judgment. Quizá antes que termino me viene a la mente. Alright, so en las primeras cosas, él habla del siervo hebreo y habla del séptimo año. No, sabemos que el séptimo periodo de tiempo es lo que está diciendo. So we're understanding that this is the seventh time period. It's a time period. By the way, in Hebrew, the word day is not like day itself. It is a time period. It is not specified, so that you understand that. En hebreo, la palabra por día no es solamente día, es cualquier periodo de tiempo. So, when you have the seventh yom, la palabra es yom, entonces quiere decir el séptimo periodo de tiempo. Aquí vemos, después de los 10 mandamientos, entonces Dios hablando del séptimo yom, del tiempo séptimo. Okay, otra vez un periodo de tiempo. So this is a Shabbat year. Eso es, se puede decir, un año de Shabbat, que quiere decir de parar, de descanso. And so it's a Shabbat year. It's a year of stopping. It's the precept, you see? And he talks about that when you have the slave, the slave should only work for you for the 6 years. Because the 7th year, you must let him go, because it is, again, that is the precept. The 7th is the Shabbat. It's the 7th time period. So, but what the funny thing about this, en el séptimo año tienen que dejar libre de esclavos. Pero la cosa muy interesante de esto es que Dios está diciendo lo que es el sábado. En otras palabras, Dios aquí provee la definición, la razón, o sea, el propósito del sábado. God is giving us an idea of what the purpose of Shabbat is. And it is, you see that it is to free the slave. It is to free the man. A free man. It says 6 refers to man. These are teachings of Yah. These are the teachings of Jehovah, of Yahweh. Estos son las enseñanzas de Dios, de Jehová, de Yah. Aquí muy claramente la enseñanza es que el hombre será dado libertad. And when we're talking, saldrá libre. Mira, he's here, you see it. Libre, de balde. So, entendemos el propósito del Shabbat. The purpose of Sabbath is clearly manifested, clearly declared by God himself. Shabbat has to do with setting man free. Free from what? Free from the sins of Adam, free from condemnation. El sábado es para dejar el hombre libre del pecado de Adán, del castigo del pecado de Adán. ¿Desde qué? ¿El cuál? El castigo es muerte. Que el hombre saldrá libre de balde. Eso es lo que quiere decir el sábado. See? These are the teaching. God put it here. But no one's noticing. No one's paying attention to what God is saying. They don't want to read. Or they don't understand. Oh, this is what God's saying about a slave. You see, it doesn't mean anything. Of course it means a lot of other things. Because God himself tells us to take precept over precept over precept. These are the first things. These are the first things he's telling Israel. Estas son las primeras cosas que le está diciendo a Israel. Y la palabra de Dios dice que hay que tomar precepto sobre precepto. Y mucho de eso mesiánico y Hebrew, estos que se llaman hebreos, que dicen que ellos son hebreos, son afroamericanos, lo que sea, pero son hebreos. Usa mucho el texto de que hay que tomar precepto sobre precepto. Pues toma precepto sobre precepto. Take the precept, brother. Here it is. The Sabbath is to set man free. So esa es la enseñanza del sábado. So no, we already taught on that before we cut off for our extended Shabbat, our own Shabbat. Nosotros hemos ya explicado eso durante el periodo de tiempo que estuvimos antes de ese tiempo que estuvimos fuera de aire. All right. So what I want to do, and I'm not sure that we did it the last time, but I want to cover at least 21, to finish it, so that we're sure and we can start on 22 when we get back. It's almost time to finish our teaching for today. So vamos a entonces ir, just go through the parts after that. So let us read here. Okay, so, and these are things that people need to understand. Now, it's not an issue that we are not under the law any longer. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. No es un punto que hay gente, mucha gente dice, cristianos dicen que ya no estamos bajo la ley. Yo no estoy hablando de si estamos bajo o no estamos bajo la ley. Estamos siempre bajo la verdad. ¿Sí o no? We're always under the truth. Yes or no? Does the truth end? Is the truth on vacation? ¿La verdad se terminó? ¿Ya dejamos la verdad también entonces? El punto que los juicios, the judgments of God, que estamos enseñando aquí, que son las decisiones de Dios sobre estas situaciones, están basados no en ley, están basados en verdad, la verdad. La ley no tiene nada que ver, la ley está basada sobre esto, sobre la verdad. So, no es asunto otra vez que obedecer la ley, porque sabemos que eso no es lo que Dios quiere. No, it's not a point that we have to obey the law, because we know that's not what God wants. God said, you're no longer slaves here. And the thing is to understand the truth. La cosa es de entender la verdad. You see, la ley era un método de enseñarnos verdad. The law was a method to teach us the truth. See, it's about methodology. And that's why when you go to Jeremiah 31 to 33, you see that God changes the methodology, but the facts remain, right? En Jeremías 31 a 33, Dios cambia, dice que va a cambiar la metodología, pero la verdad sigue. You understand? So this is the issue of studying these things. So it says that we start in verse 12 for now. He that sinneth a man who smiteth a man so that he die shall be put to death. Aquel que, let's see 12 here. El que hiere a alguno, haciéndole así morir, él morirá. So what is God teaching us with this verse here? He's teaching with this judgment that no one has a right to take the life of someone else's life. Está diciendo aquí que ninguna persona tiene el derecho de tomar en sí la vida de otro ser humano. See that? Because God is the only one who decides when we die. Dios es el único que tiene en su control cuándo es que nosotros matamos. Y no es porque el hombre no puede matarlo y que Dios lo permita, porque al fin de cuentas, si alguien quiere venir y matar a otra persona, lo puede matar. Y muchas veces Dios no lo previene. So it's not that a man cannot physically go and kill some other man, because we know that can happen, and it does happen. We know that men kill other men, and God doesn't stop it. We know that's a daily reality. Just see the news. And we see that God doesn't prevent it. In many other instances, He does. He does prevent it. But in many instances, He doesn't. So it's not like the man cannot go and do it. But it is not it is not an authority that God gave man to do. Pero no es una autoridad que Dios le dio al hombre a hacer. Now, He gives man authority to kill man, because it says it right here. Él morirá. En otras palabras, Dios sí da al hombre autorización en ciertos momentos de matar a otro. Aquí Dios dice, Él morirá. ¿Quién lo va a matar? A otro hombre. O todo el pueblo ahí lo apedrea muerto. There's times when God authorizes the death of a man. But normally, in other words, without there being any cause, there should be no instance that a man smite another, and if that man dies, your penalty for causing that, for making that, for killing him, is to die. You forfeit your life. You took his life. And this is more of an issue of justice, the application of justice. So here we have justice being dealt. And usually in all cases of justice, the death is, according to the scripture, is permissible, is justified. En los casos de crimen, de justicia, la muerte es justificado, especialmente si la vida de otra persona ha sido eliminado, pues entonces la persona que lo hizo, pues expone su propia vida también. So that is what we see here. What we're looking at is equity, what is fair, qué es justicia, qué es justo. Si a una persona le niegan la vida, pues, y también la familia sufre la pérdida de esa vida, pues es justo que entonces esa otra persona también pierde su vida y que su familia sufre lo mismo que hemos sufrido. So it is just that if one person caused the death of this family man or this person, and the person's dead and the family is suffering that loss, it is just that the other family also suffer the loss of their person, and also that person has to forfeit his life to equal. So then now you have two people lost their lives, and two families are mourning. So there's that loss, one for the other, to have equality. And the only reason that second person, the person who killed the first, is dead is because of justice. And that's where it ends. In other words, there's no more, even though a person took the life of that criminal, of that murderer, the person who's doing that is not culpable of a killing because of murder, because they were applying justice. Justice is always a permissible reason to take life. La justicia es siempre una razón justo de quitar vida. Okay? And you see that obviously God puts a high value on human life, so that he says that this is not right. This is not a thing for us to be doing. But it also shows you that God does allowed it, because he did allow the man to smite the other one. He didn't stop that, because people don't understand what God is doing. People don't get it. La gente tiene que entender lo que Dios está haciendo, no lo entienden. Porque la gente dice, ¿dónde está Dios? Aquí murieron de hambre, los otros están en guerra ya, están peleados, están muriendo miles. ¿Dónde está Dios? Pues Dios está en lo mismo que siempre, diciendo la verdad. La gente no entiende. You know, God is, you know, people complain that where is God? Look at all this killing. Look at all that's happening. Look at all these people dying, hunger and war and this and that. And then they question, you know, where is God? What is God doing? And the answer to that is God's doing everything he said from the beginning he's going to do. And he's been teaching us, but you don't get it. That's what God is doing. So even though he lets man, he's trying to teach man. The purpose of God is teaching man, not controlling man. That's the bottom line. El propósito de Dios es enseñar al hombre, no controlarlo. Cuando tú estás tratando de enseñar, tú no controlas. Tú tienes que dejar que la persona brega con lo enseñado y fracase o no. Pero tienes que dejar que lo haga. You have to always allow the person you're teaching to either stand or fall. You teach, but let's see if you can walk now. It's just as simple as that. And God is letting humanity walk. Here's the teaching. Here it is. There's a whole bunch of teachers out here. Here's another one here, the fat guy with the beard. Now let's see if you can walk. And so that is why, and with this I'll end for today. We'll continue on this next week. Vamos a seguir la semana que viene sobre esto. Voy a terminar con esto. Pero esta es la razón que Dios no se mete a controlar los hombres. God is not in the business of controlling men, of controlling every single thing you do. He is teaching us. Él está enseñándonos, instruyéndonos. Y para poder enseñar a una persona, and a lot of you guys have to understand that too, you guys have to let them stand by themselves. See if they can walk. Of course, they're going to hate you. Hey, pastor's not helping me, or that brother, you know, he calls himself a Christian and he's not helping me. He's not doing, you know, he's not here. He left me here, and what am I going to do? La gente dan complaint como ese pastor no me está ayudando. Me dejó aquí y no sé, ahora que, you know, él me enseñó a hacer esto, es difícil. Y no está aquí para ayudarme y me dejó y aquí, mira cómo estoy. Y esto otro, y no está entendiendo, mijo, que nosotros instruimos. Y así mismo Dios, ¿de dónde estaba Dios? Hay gente que se queda en Dios. Mi madre murió, mi padre murió. You know, there's people blame God that their parent died, their mother, their father. Why didn't you answer me, Lord? Why didn't you do this? Something happened, they lost their job, whatever. People just, you're not understanding. And then you start blaming God. That's a sign. You know what? A good sign for you to know if you just not understand is when you start blaming God. And before you blame God, you blame the servant of God. Because we're first. We always get it first, like Moses. He's there. That's Moses. Moses, and then, you know, because we're too chicken to call out God. But Moses, he's the one. He brought us out here. La gente teme de más a Dios, demasiado a Dios, pero el pastor no le temen. Así hablan malo de los pastores. Este pastor, así, eso. Pero la rebeldía es contra Dios. Porque si tú estuvieras haciendo la voluntad de Dios, tú no tienes que ir con el pastor. El pastor viene y hace lo que tiene supuesto hacer, como yo hago los domingos, y ya. Mijo, camina con Dios. The pastor comes and does what I do on a Sunday. You don't have a problem with the pastor. You don't have an issue with the pastor. You only have issues with the pastor when you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Because if you were doing what you were supposed to do, pastor comes in and he brings us the word, praise God, and I'm doing what I'm doing for the Lord during the week, and everything is good. Everything is good. Everything is good when you're doing what you're supposed to do. But when you're not, then all you have to do is like what you used to do in school. You remember when you were a little kid? Recuerdo cuando tú estabas en la escuela de niño y le tiraba la bolita de papel, así con la sorbeta. All you guys are doing are throwing spitballs at your pastors, at your churches, because that's all you're doing with your time. Ustedes solamente están tirando bolita de papel a sus maestros, a sus pastores, a sus iglesias, porque tiene tiempo. No está haciendo lo que debe estar haciendo. Brothers, sisters, thank you for joining us. Hermanos, hermanas, gracias por acompañarnos. Ora por nosotros, que el Señor sigue bendiciendo este ministerio y podemos seguir creciendo. Until next week, same hour, 12:30. Amen. God bless you and God keep you. Dios te bendiga a todos. Hasta la semana que viene.